Yeah, man, it's your boy Alfred once again, and welcome back to another Wakati Avenue. And today's video is titled "Why Time Management Could Be Your Greatest Ally." Why time management could be your greatest ally. Now, we should all, as men, be cautious and conscious of our time. The time that we spend doing things, right? Time that we purposely use for whatever purpose we're doing. Now, I'm not here to judge that whatever you're doing, because at times we have to chill. We have to chill. You can chill with friends, and do just have time to kill. Kind of have time to kill, right? Not waste time, but just have time to kill when you're relaxing, chilling, chillaxing. Doing things that are not considered part of our goals, not considered part of our purpose. Things just refresh our minds, refresh our brains, shit like that. However, majority of the time we have to know how we're spending our time. So time management is very important. Knowing that your time is spent this way, right? Even having a rough idea. You don't have to have a strict set timetable, though that's very important though. But when you're starting out, don't have a strict, like, I have to be here by this time, that might be distressing at the end of the day. And the main reason that I can come up with is because this actually works for people who are the purpose, who have goals and have purpose in their life. Because at times, instincts and schedules come into play, right? Especially our instincts, right? We need to do something, or we feel we need to be somewhere. Remember, sometimes we do things unconsciously. We may feel like, okay, shit, I need to go somewhere, be somewhere, because it's just a feeling that comes. I know as men, I usually preach that we have to have discipline, and that's where discipline comes. Because at times we feel like, okay, what I'm doing here, maybe you're on your purpose, you're doing a goal, you're on your goal, right? What I'm doing right now is distressing. It's stressing me out. So you feel like, okay, I need to unwind. But what do you unwind with? Are you doing something that is within your schedule, or something at least that you need to have met, right? Like as in something that you need to have done? Or are you just saying, okay, I'm going to take this time to refresh and move away? But moving away, making sure that it's not something that is just instinctual. You tend to do things instinctual. And the more we do things that are instinctual, the more we feed into those things. Now, feeding into things that are instinctual, because we feel like it, that's what instinctual things are mostly. They're good, they may be good for surviving at times, but let's face it, a lot of us, we're not in survival unless maybe we need something, we need to eat at that moment. But come on, even if you need to eat at a certain moment, there's food around usually, or you have more money and shit like that. So things become instinctual, and then they feed into your usual goals, the usual purpose, because now that feeling drives you. That's why at times you see people just doing a whole lot of things unconsciously, because they're feeding into those instincts. But if you had discipline and had a set time to do certain things, right, those fleeing, because these feelings are fleeing, they come and then they go. Those fleeing feelings, you recognize that this is just a fleeing sort of feeling. It's coming because I've done this before, and probably an emotion has arose that, right? So a certain emotion can arouse certain things. Then we feel like doing things just out of nowhere. That's why we see some people doing like sleepwalking. Sleepwalking is sort of an instinct. My guess, it's an instinct. That's why you see people just doing a whole lot of things. Sometimes you don't understand why they're doing that thing, right? So back to time management. Once you have set time to do certain things that are of your purpose, whatever it is, whether you're working on a business, you're working on a certain goal, hobby, your hobbies, you're just on a purpose. Right? When those feelings, emotions come, and they do come, they will come eventually, right? Because we humans, we men, humans, we think that we can always control our emotions. Though we do have it, but some emotions are way too strong, such that when they arise, right, and arouse us, they may really, that for that moment at least, may take over, right, and then get us to do things that we really did not want to do. So when you have a set time, you're managing your time well. And this is why a lot of people who manage their time well are very successful, because they don't move with waves. They don't move with instincts. They don't move with emotions. They eventually get hold of their emotions, because when you know that you have this set time to do certain things, and you have an area of things that you are supposed to be doing, that becomes the norm for you. It becomes the norm to you, such that when those emotions now arise, or you're aroused by those emotions, the things that you've set out to do, because that's what you have now prepared yourself for, then that's the thing that is going to take place, right, instead of those instincts. So it's not about suppressing those instincts. It's more about replacing, because most instincts just are animalistic instincts, the basics, right? Our lizard brains, right? Eating, sex, right? The fear factor. All these are just instincts that come. We all have them. We all have to have food, right? We all have, as man, we crave sex, right? We still have things that we fear, but then all those at the same time are emotions, right? The emotions that we have to get control over. But then if you're not there yet, where you can fully control those emotions, right, and your purpose, the best way is to have set times to do purposeful things, so that these instincts and these emotions do not take over your whole conscious, especially the moment. This way you won't be, like I said, this way you won't be moving away, towards waves, going with trends. You see most men moving away from their whatever they're trying to do, moving towards those trends, because that's just emotions, fleeing emotions that they're chasing. You don't chase emotions as men. You don't chase them, right? You have to be able to observe those emotions within you, and then know exactly how they affect you. But this is a major reason a lot of people should have a purpose, because with a purpose and goals, right, these fleeing emotions won't take you away as waves. They won't get you to go to the next trend. They won't make you chase the next whatever it is that you feel like you have to chase. So time management in this factor is very much important, especially pertaining your instincts, pertaining your emotions. it's very important to have a set time or stick to a certain schedule. It's very important. That in itself, then when those emotional waves come, and I believe at times these emotion of waves and instincts are kind of a conscious thing, which I think everyone can goes through this, especially if a group of people, right? You experience that at the same time. Something like what I think was either Carl Jung or Nietzsche. I think it was Nietzsche who said it was what did he call it? He called it what's this? Nietzsche called it it's a conscious where okay, I forgot what it is, but it's more attuned to an overall conscious where everyone of a certain group sort of meets up. We understand that conscious and it comes to a certain group, but that consciousness could be good or bad, I guess. But once you move with that wave and then you leave your own sort of purpose, that it does not help you, because it's a fleeting thing most of the times, right? So time management, before I wrap up, is very important. Make sure you manage your time well. Make sure you put a slot on your time, things that are important, hobbies, goals, purpose, right? And then at the same time, you're making sure that you are evaluating those emotions that come, especially when you're on your purpose. There's a time when I was like, okay, I have a certain goal, and I'm halfway through it, or I'm just starting it, then I feel horny. That's an emotion. Those are instincts. And then I feel like calling up a chick, to break me off and shit for that day. But there's the type of thing that I think it happens to a lot of men. It's an experience a lot of men go through. But then that's the thing that you're going to experience. So it's up to you. Are you going to feed on that instinct, or are you going to continue at least with those goals? What are your priorities at that moment? Is it feeding that instinct, or is it actually hitting that goal? Yes, you're horny, you're a man, no doubt. But this is not to say that at times you cannot give in. You're a man, you're going to be weak at times. However, you need to know why you gave in, what you can do next time not to give. Because remember, you still have to put your priorities in check, your goals, your purpose. So next time you feel horny and shit, and you feel like you need to call up your chick, you say, no, I can do this after I finish up. And that's just an extreme, or just an example. You feel all sort of emotions. That's why I say we have to control our emotions as men. Majority of women are the ones who cannot control their emotions, and kids, not as men. And the best way to do this is to have a purpose, goals, and tasks. Because at least you're subconsciously telling yourself, instead of feeding into whatever instinct is coming my way, I can do this. And I think this is exactly what Napoleon Hill was talking about when he was talking about the sexual mastery. Right. It's very strong. Your sexual instincts are very strong, but you can always direct that towards the goals and the purpose. But your goals and purpose also have to be within a structure. There's time management, and you have to know that, okay, this is what I'm supposed to be doing at this time, so that when those waves of instincts and emotions come, okay, no, I can at least put them aside for now, ignore them, because I'm on my purpose. So that was just something that I was contemplating on contemplating about some sort of a rough idea, but it's something that could work. Time management and your instincts and your whatever that you're always emotional about, you can always, don't suppress it. I always say, just don't try and suppress those fears, suppress those instincts. It's very bad, because those, especially those sexual instincts, don't suppress them. You need a way of releasing them. It's best if you don't have a way of releasing them, to direct them to your purpose. That's why I said it's best to be on your purpose, doing things that are goal-oriented and purposeful. That way you do not have to suppress those instincts, because there's no way, you're going to be in trouble if you suppress those instincts. You're putting yourself out for failure, because no matter what you do, suppressing your instincts, they'll find a way of being released. Now, different people have different way of showing the way they release those instincts. At times they become out of control, and if you cannot control those instincts, then you're in trouble. So with that said, man, it's been your boy Alfred, and till next time, I hope this brought you value, and peace.